Hey guys, it's Confined to the Sky, and this video is for my third week here in Ecuador. And so I got back from the jungle into the city of Quito, and I was stayed the night with okay, I'll have to refer to video one. Juan Pedro was the boy's name who 10 years ago he was like a little shoeshiner boy. Now he's grown up and married and has a little girl. Anyway, so I stayed at their house. I spent actually quite a bit of time with them this week, which was really good because I haven't really had much connection with them in like, maybe 8 years or whatever it's been now. So stayed the night in their place, and then the next morning I did a quick turnaround with Juan Pedro and his wife and his little girl and Juan Pedro's father. And we headed off to the city of Riobamba, which is about 4 hours away from Quito. And I'd never been to Riobamba before. So they had wanted to take me to Riobamba to show me kind of like their ancestral place, community and stuff, because they are Quechua, and Quechua is a people group here in Ecuador. Okay, so the first night in Riobamba, we stayed at Juan Pedro's aunt, who is actually like in the city. And this was the beginning of a very, very challenging week for me. It is very difficult because of the conditions in which like I was sleeping. And it's hard for me to say, but they're very, very, very dirty conditions. And yet the people are giving you their very best that they can, right? It is very challenging to just look beyond it and to be thankful. Be thankful for a place to stay, and be thankful for a bed that they're giving you, and they want to sleep on the floor because they want to give you their best. And the thing is, like, these people, they have often like a lot of like animals in their home, and I don't mind animals, but like there's a point when like animal like odors and stuff, they like hurt your eyes. It's really hard, and it's just very unclean, right? And I find one of the things that's the most challenging for me too is when you're at someone's home and they bring you some food that they've made for you, because being a foreigner, sometimes that food could be very questionable to your health. Even how it's prepared or stuff like that. Juices could have unclean water and stuff in them. So yeah, it's very challenging. It's hard to sometimes walk that line of being polite and accepting, and yet sometimes having to kind of say no. Sometimes like it's very hard to know when you can say no and when you shouldn't. And so sometimes you are eating food that you probably shouldn't be. Anyway, so we stayed the night there, and the next morning, she had made some breakfast, and she gave me this bowl of soup. I'm like, oh, soup for breakfast. And I look, and there's like this hind leg with like claws still on it. I'm like, oh, this is probably guinea pig. I've had it once before, but not for breakfast. So from there, we left her house and we went up into the mountains. The mountain regions is where Juan Pedro's both sets of his grandparents still live, and it's quite a ways into like the mountains. And so by the time you get there, it's like you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and literally to like get back down the mountain, like from the taxi you had, like taxis don't come up there like all the time, right? So you're just like hoping that you'll be able to make your way back somehow. So one thing I noticed in this community is that it's basically made up now of senior citizens, and that is really hard to watch, because these people, they still have to do the farm work. They're doing the farm work. They're butchering their chickens, and they are harvesting by hand. I don't know what they're called, but they're harvesting by hand, handful by handful. Either the grasses for their livestock or grains, for themselves. And it's something you wouldn't want your own grandparent having to do. And because most of the children from these people have moved away to, you know, find actual like jobs and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a whole town pretty much of senior citizens. And I was able to pray with quite a few people there, though I didn't necessarily feel as much as like share like a message with them, but just to like, I just felt like to be the hands and feet of Jesus and just to love the people. And so Juan Pedro's dad, he asked me if I could pray with this one set of you know, grandparents. And so like, you know, I started praying, and then all of a sudden everybody started praying. I was like, oh, like, you know, I'm not used to this, you know, I'm conservative, used to like one person praying at a time, but you know, everyone's just started praying and praying out loud. And you know, these people, like, they have such a challenging life, and when they're praying to God, they are just buckets of tears pouring out. And you know, they're just praying and praying and crying out to God for like 10 minutes, just everybody together, just crying out to God. And just it was a blessing to be there and just to even see their heart. And yeah, just it was just I mean, I pray I was a blessing to them, but they've also been a blessing to me, right? That's usually how it is. Something else in this community, Juan Pedro has an aunt and an uncle. His aunt lives with the set of grandparents that, you know, are her parents, and she's almost completely blind and deaf. And I mean, that makes it even extra challenging, like living in the mountains when, I mean, you can't see, you can hardly hear, and you know, it's just actually physically maneuvering is hard. And what really kind of caught me off guard is when he brought me to his uncle's house, and we walked into the little room there, and his uncle is, he's quite aged as well. Like, he's almost, I would say, a senior. And he's sitting on his bed all alone, and he is completely blind and deaf. And the only time he really has much interaction with people is when his family brings him food, you know, to eat during the day. And so, I laid my hands on him and prayed for him. And it's a really awful feeling in your stomach to like leave a person in a room all alone when, you know, they can't even like hear you praying, they can't see you praying, like literally you touch them, and then that's how they know that you're there. And to just leave someone there like that, it's a really awful feeling. But you know, it's good to know that the family's right next door, and they do at least, you know, bring them the food and stuff. So okay, so this next night we had actually stayed at one of the grandparents' place, and it was probably the worst place I've ever slept in. And to be like brutally honest, like, you would feel cleaner sleeping outside in the field. Most of our barns in North America would probably be cleaner than where I slept. And I have some video footage of that as well. I don't like to take a lot of video footage of like people's struggles and stuff in life, or you know, maybe their different living conditions and stuff, because I'm not someone who tries to like gawk at it or whatever, but I did want to show just how different people live. And in the night, it was freezing cold. The cold that went right to your bones, and they don't have any heat. Like, literally, they don't have any heat, and that's why they keep guinea pigs in their house, to heat it a little bit. But it was cold, and you know, they gave me their bed again, and I mean, you should really accept it when they give it to you, right? And then they all slept on the floor. It's like, yes, Grandpa and Grandma now are sleeping on the floor, and I'm sleeping in their bed. But yeah, it was very challenging this week, even just seeing how, you know, so many of these people live. So when we were ready to move back into Riobamba, we had to like walk down like the mountain to like find a taxi. And we were probably walking at least an hour and a half to meet a taxi. And yeah, it's just, I mean, it's a real wake-up call to like what most people's life is like all the time. So, you know, we got back here to Quito, and I actually ended up in the hospital briefly because I was a little bit sick from staying at such dirty places. Some of the crud stuff got in my eyes and was kind of like infecting my eyes, so had to go there, and then the next day, like, my stomach was really giving me trouble, so so tonight is my last night here in Quito and in Ecuador, and I was able to go with Juan Pedro's brother and sister to their Quechua church, and that was an experience as well. Like, I mean, up in those mountains with his grandparents, that's something you'll never forget. Like, you'll never forget that. But just experiencing their church today, and what's neat is to see their culture as well in their actual church service, and you'll be seeing that also in the video footage. So thank you very much for all of your prayers. I really mean that. I really am thankful for all of you who have prayed a lot for me, even walking from the church here this evening to my hotel. I mean, I was like, God, please have your angels about me, because being a foreigner walking downtown here at nighttime is very, very dangerous. Sometimes, you know, you don't make it. It's quite dangerous here at nighttime. So, yes, thank you for your prayers, and I pray that the videos, again, are a blessing to you, and God bless.
Kechuas sama sekali. Jadi seperti salikur.
Oh, gracias.
Teatro y le iba a la Plaza Grande.